Hey there, folks. I'm here in my front yard, and I'm gonna try to get a little video in before the sun sets, which is very soon. But you can see it's just a sort of cloudy day here. I don't know what it is now, like 60 something. It's really pleasant out. I'm just out in a t-shirt. It's great weather. I love this. You know, I mean, even with the rain, it's really not bad out. Weather's incredibly mild, at least for the next week or two. So I'm loving that. It's been an incredibly mild winter so far. I love that. So just wanted to do a little update on two palms that, you know, despite the mild weather, we can certainly get some cold weather here sometimes. And these are palms that will definitely take it. And these are, of course, the needle palm and dwarf palmetto, the two toughest palms in the world. And yeah, both of these palms are incredibly hardy. And they can take all to our temperatures here in the DC area, no problem. And they can take some incredibly cold temperatures. So first off here, I'm going to start off with the second hardiest palm in the world. This is the dwarf palmetto, native to the southeastern United States. Now there's some debate, of course. Second hardiest, you know, you have Rhapidophyllum, which is also very hardy, which you know, maybe is more wind tolerant than some people argue that it's the toughest palm in the world because it can take incredible amounts of wind, sand, whatever. But this palm is certainly, I believe, harder than Nanorops, just in terms of temperature hardiness. And, you know, I don't know if it would exactly survive here if not for our hot, humid summers. Like a place like Albuquerque, Sabals don't do as well because they don't have that summer heat and humidity, which is what they really love. And same goes for the needle palm. But at least here in this temperate zone 7, they can take temperatures, and these are hardy into zone 6. And just amazingly tough palms. And, you know, I really love them. And they are hardy to, you know, they're listed as hardy to around 0 Fahrenheit. I'd say that's pretty accurate in terms of very short periods. Some are going to be less hardy than that. Supposedly the, varieties from northern North Carolina and the northern end of their range, some of the ones from Oklahoma, especially McCurtain from southeastern Oklahoma, where they're native, believe it or not. Salem Minor is native to the very southeastern corner in McCurtain County, Oklahoma, and that's one of the northern ecotypes. That's, you know, not much warmer than here, which is crazy. And also southern Arkansas, Warren, Arkansas is one of the ecotypes, but it's native all across basically the southern third of Arkansas. So those are some very hardy ecotypes that may supposedly even be hardier than some of the less hardy ecotypes of our next palm, which is the needle palm up here. So anyways, about this palm, yeah, I'd say this is reliably hardy, probably to around, you know, 5 Fahrenheit if we're talking like just, you know, reliably. Depending on the ecotype, they can be down to 0, maybe even below. Yeah, I mean, they've been recorded as some of the hardier specimens surviving below that. So I'd say this is a reliably hardy palm into zone 6. Again, in Cincinnati, which is zone 6A, 6B, people have had great success in zone 6A areas in the northern end of Cincinnati, in that area with just, you know, just for an example, yeah, in that area, people have great success with Sabal Minor, you know, well below 0 Fahrenheit, sometimes even down to like I've heard of like it got to like -8 and these things survived it, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, some of the ecotypes certainly are hardier than that, but just insane. And these palms are very hardy, and I've heard of, yeah, definitely into zone 6, these palms I'd say are reliably hardy. So I'd try one if you're in zone 6. Again, people would never imagine palms could grow there. Who didn't know it, and I never would have imagined that, you know, if you told me before I was into palms, like, I mean, before I really knew about this, it's just crazy to think about, but these palms can actually take our temperatures here. And then, of course, we have the hardiest palm in the entire world. This is the needle palm. These things are so hardy. Now there's some debate as to their actual hardiness. I'd say they're reliably hardy to around -15 Fahrenheit for very short periods, maybe more reliable to -10, -10, 15. There are records of one surviving in Tennessee, in near the Smoky Mountains, I think in Chattanooga, of -21 Fahrenheit. So that's why you'll see that number -20 often listed. I wouldn't say they're reliably hardy to -20, but yes, maybe in a freak cold event, if it got down maybe for an hour or two to -20 at night, it could survive with some extreme damage, but that's a very rare scenario. So I would say probably -10, 15 Fahrenheit, they're reliably hardy, which is extremely cold, by the way. It's never gotten that cold here. -5, I think. It's interesting because I think -5 is the coldest on record, which was in 1982, January 17th, 1982. That's the coldest winter on record. And then supposedly in 1899, it may have gotten down to around -15 here, which definitely will be putting these things to the test. But I don't think that's like an official record. But -5 is the coldest ever recorded in the entire DC area, which is not, you know, not nearly cold enough to put some to even really damage these palms. I think they can take it. And you know, they're super tough. You know, there's huge specimens in Cincinnati, you know, across Pennsylvania, and in those northern limits where people are really pushing them up in Connecticut, Long Island, New York. There's some beautiful specimens, and here in DC, they're the most common palm. They're massive, 12-foot specimens, several of them across the city, and more being planted in recent years, which is just so awesome to see. You can see mine's got 3 little suckers on here. Oh, sorry, it's really dark, but 3 little suckers there, and yeah, hopefully you guys can still see this. It's certainly certainly competing with the light out here, but yeah, anyways, these are the 2 hardiest palms in the world. And yeah, try a needle palm, try a dwarf palmetto if you are in a colder climate. Again, yeah, zone 6. This thing, the needle palm is interesting because I've heard of people having them survive for several winters in zone 5A, and I would never say they're reliably hardy to zone 5, but if you're in like an upper zone 5B, they can certainly survive with just about minimal to no protection, at least in mild winters. So yeah, these things may be hardy even to the upper end of zone 5, which is just crazy. So like if I was in very southeastern Michigan, maybe, I don't know if they're reliably hardy there, most of Indiana, Ohio, they can take it. I've heard of people in Ontario in mild winters never having to protect them. I mean, think about that. That's eastern Canada, which is like zone 6 in very southern Ontario. I mean, most of it's zone 5. I don't know if there's any zone 6. Just crazy to think about it. Surviving unprotected there. These palms are incredibly tough, and yeah, definitely do not be fooled by them being called palms, because they are palms, but don't be fooled that the term palm somehow correlates to not being hardy, because whenever people hear, oh, palm trees, they're like, the first thing people always say is, oh, they can survive here, or no, they can't. They assert that palms can't survive here, which is certainly not true. And yeah, these are 2 of the best palms that I'd say for colder climates. If you're in a desert climate, we're talking about some different palms. Maybe Nanoropes ricciana is probably one of the best. They're very rare though. They could probably survive here unprotected, but they're from Afghanistan, I believe part of Pakistan, and elsewhere in the Middle East, and they are just very rare palm here in the U.S., just like needle palms are very rare outside of the U.S. So, but if you can get your hands on one, I'd definitely try one. If I was in like a desert climate, yeah, Nanoropes, Washingtonia folifera is a great palm in like a similar climate to this, like Albuquerque. If you're in a dry climate, they could take it. I'd recommend those, but these are the 2 finest palms, at least for a wet, temperate zone 5, 6, 7. These require mostly no protection in those zones, at least in a mild winter. These are tough palms. Definitely give them a try. And you know what? I mean, if I was in Los Angeles or something, I'd still, there's beautiful specimens there too. Don't be fooled that they can certainly take warm, hot temperatures, and also in some desert temperatures, but they love humidity, and they do best in these humid climates, and they can take really cold temperatures. So I'd certainly try one anywhere up and down the East Coast. Even if I was in Maine, I'd try one. Needle palm might not even need protection in a mild winter up there. It's just crazy. All right, folks, enjoy. Thanks for watching.